Sit back and get ready to have the most fun you ever had with an electronic device.
All right, everybody, welcome out to the Get On With It Sports Show. It is Thursday, special Thursday edition this week, January 11th, 2024. Happy New Year, everybody. With me, as always, none other Mr. RadioPete and Mr. Harry Lug Nutz. Say hello, gentlemen.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year to everybody. Our first show of 2024. How is everybody doing on this fine Thursday evening?
Pretty good.
A little under the weather, but other than that, I'm all right.
There you go.
Coming to you from the outskirts of the Eastern Time Zone.
Outskirts of the Eastern Time Zone in Indiana. Indiana.
No, they're on the Eastern Time Zone half the year, and then there's Central the other time. Or are they always Eastern Time Zone?
I don't know.
It's half the state. Half the state is Eastern, half the state is Central.
I think they're just Eastern, but right at the edge.
There's parts of Indiana are Central.
Oh yeah, like I think one little corner.
There's a little bit like when you get down towards Louisville, like the bottom part, and over by Chicago, it
right. Yeah.
Wings up like that. Yeah.
I'm in Bloomington, so I'm more
in
east.
Bloomington. So. Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah, but yeah, the outskirts of the Eastern Time Zone.
Outskirts of the Eastern Time Zone. There you go. So it's technically the same time as it is here.
Yeah.
But the sun set a little later.
I tried to get as close to you as I could, Harry, geographically.
There you go.
Couldn't get out.
I know, couldn't get out of the time zone though. But
still two time zones away.
Yeah, but close. We'll see. Our next trip's in February, but that's only Cincinnati, so that's farther east. So
still in the Midwest.
Yeah, 13-hour drive. Woohoo!
Make sure you get some chili when you go to Cincinnati.
Yes, we'll get some Cincinnati chili. But
I'll tell you where to go.
Yeah, you know what? I'll say this.
Wear a diaper on your road trip, huh?
We will. Driving through, the Pennsylvania on Route 80 and
I got it. That's the worst part
Ohio.
of it. It's just
No, I mean it really wasn't bad. We had pretty good weather, a little bit of a snow squall.
I just mean it's just such a boring ride through Pennsylvania on 80. It's just
it is.
So
but I
long.
will say this. Overall, people were very nice because it's just two lanes and non-stop trucks.
Oh yeah,
at more trucks than cars on the road, and we left at 7:00 in the morning or whatever. So, but almost everybody, was really good about getting over into the right lane when they were done passing.
Right.
So it was pleasant because you didn't have to, There was only a couple of times I scooched over to the right and blew by a semi because I was not waiting the 3 minutes until he passed the next semi in front of him. So, but for the most part, everybody was really nice about getting over and getting out of the fast lane. So, and probably some of that because I think certainly in Pennsylvania, we saw about 6 speed traps.
Oh wow!
Over the course of the drive across the state, and then a few more in part of Ohio. So that was part of it. But overall, really good drive, really good time. 13 hours, almost on the nose.
Very nice.
A couple of bathroom breaks, and we stopped at a bakery and got a couple things. We had actually stopped at a McDonald's to go to the bathroom, and then right next to it was an Amish style bakery.
There you
go. So we stopped and got a few things.
Get any shoe fly pie?
No, we got a lemon cheesecake muffin was very good, and we got a couple of I don't remember exactly what they're called, but they remind me of the Hostess fruit pie.
Oh yeah.
But they're 10,000 times better than the Hostess fruit pie.
So much better.
And then we got a cream log, which we so the woman goes, "Yeah, we're known for our apple fritters and our cream logs." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm kind of known for my cream log too, lady." But
that's only on Friday nights on OnlyFans.
Yeah. But we'll take. So that was really good. That was just like a rectangular wide eclair with the fresh whipped cream in the middle, and then a slathering of chocolate frosting on the top. So that was very good.
Very tasty.
So we may stop at the, I believe it was called the Nine Sisters Amish style bakery.
On the way back.
They didn't have the Amish garb on, although there was one guy there who was like cleaning the shelves, and he was dressed all in black, but I think he was just goth. I don't think, because he just looked
it's like a local kid that got a job there.
Yeah, disaffected and bored with his life right now. But yeah, 13 hours, really good time.
I would like to take a minute really quick and just to say I'm wearing a Giants New York Giants football baseball jersey. It's that time of year, right?
In between football and baseball.
Between football and baseball, so I figured. But I just want to open it up a minute and show you the shirt I'm wearing underneath.
Oh, I wonder what it could be.
Just for a minute. Just for a minute. It is that right there.
Yeah.
All right. And I want to thank you very much, RadioPete.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Love it. Fits perfectly like a glove.
Oh, good.
It fits more like a shirt, not a glove. But
I wanted to make sure it was large enough that people could wear it, but not be offended. I just for me, it's easy. I buy the largest one they have.
Whatever they have, get the largest. There.
Yeah. If it starts with a 5 or has several X's in it, I'm good.
You're good to go. Right.
But
this was the right size. Perfect.
Not necessarily a good judge of sizing for other people. So
ages 5 and up.
Ages 5 and up, sizes 5 and up. That's me.
There you go.
So so here in Indiana and driving back a couple days.
There you go.
Saturday. So.
All right, so how was New Year's, both of you? Harry?
Uneventful but nice.
Uneventful but nice. You played recently too, right? I saw that.
Yeah, we played a couple days before New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't go out on New Year's at all. It was lovely to not go out.
Yeah, we stayed home too.
We went out, but not really. We just went around the corner to a neighbor's house. So we were home, but not home.
Right.
Yeah, it was. I'm finding that I always joke around with my wife because her family tends to not plan anything until like the day before. Now we kind of know where we're always go to the same place for Thanksgiving. We always go to the same place for Christmas. But, certainly the barbecue holidays or any sort of get-togethers, it's always like, are we doing anything? Are we doing anything? And then 12 hours before it happens, we're going over to wherever.
Right.
But now we're all getting a little bit older.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we reach a point sooner where we go, nah, it's too late to plan anything. So we just kind of hung around the house and had some horror stuvers. And, I'm kind of over New Year's Eve anyway.
It is what it is. It was different years ago when we were all younger, Yeah,
or when you have, if you have kids and they're little and they stay up till midnight. My kids are 21 and 22 and almost 19. 19 now? But tomorrow actually Victor turns 19. So they're like,
happy birthday, Victor.
Yeah, they stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning regularly. So it's not
on a regular basis. Yeah, exactly.
Your kids are the people I hang out with at night.
Right. Yeah. It's funny because I was always a night owl, just like them, and still am to a certain extent. I can, I don't start work till later in the morning generally, so I can stay up a little bit later. But obviously, they have more stamina than I. So we're just kind of like, New Year's. I'm sort of over it. Kind of like your birthday.
If there's a good show, New Year's is great.
Well, that's the thing. There was no good show.
I did it on the 30th. I had a gig on the 28th, and I went to see a show on the 29th or the 30th, and just decided to lay low on the 31st. But.
Yeah, and the television was unwatchable.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was totally. Yeah.
Andy and Anderson was just brutal, terrible.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm assuming
the New Year's Eve shows.
New Year's Eve shows, and
Seacrest is taking over for Dick Clark, and that's just horrific.
it's a shit show.
It's so staid and cliched and terrible.
They still have all that on network television.
Yeah, and then the other one is
the Nashville one they did.
Right, and then they have Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen. Is it from the
Who's Seacrest? Is that the guy who used to sing in Everclear? No, what was it?
No. It's Ryan Seacrest. He used to be the host of American Idol.
Yeah, that's where he made his bones, and now he's on the morning show with Kelly Ripa.
Yeah.
So he's a huge mogul. He's got a radio show and everything. I mean, he's done very well for himself, but it was just unwatchable, just terrible.
Yeah. It sucked, but yeah, we were over there probably till around the corner. Our neighbor's house. Went over there probably about 8:00. About 1:45, we were like, all right, Happy New Year, good night.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Done.
I sat down, watched a couple episodes of The Honeymooners on Channel 11, and went to sleep.
Right.
That was it.
All right, old guy update.
Old guy update for everybody. There you go.
Now we're on another.
Speaking
year
of
older.
speaking of unwatchable.
All right, exactly. All right, we got we're combining shows, folks. Those of you look
New name of this podcast, Unwatchable.
Unwatchable. Yeah, get unwatchably on with it.
Just don't bother.
Hey, don't bother. Welcome out to the Don't Bother It's Unwatchable podcast. Anyway, we're combining shows. You used to the fun show every other week or whatever. We're combining shows. We're doing stuff a little bit different. We're going to try some stuff different in 2024 for now. But we're going to start out with
none of it any better.
Just different. Just different. So we're going to start out with the memes like we do, the funny signs, funny things. So we'll start out with this one. Here we go. Let's kick it off with this. There's a couple of news articles here, a couple of headlines, actual print articles. Here we go. Cows lose their jobs as milk prices drop.
I can see that.
I wasn't okay. Wasn't sure they were actually employed.
No, what do they do though? Do they just sit on the couch and eat SpaghettiOs, or
sit back and eat SpaghettiOs and watch?
Do they go try and get a job as a horse or something else?
That's not a bad idea. They could do other things on the farm.
Maybe they get a job as an extra in a Western or something like that.
It's possible. Then we have this one here. We got forecasters call for weather on Monday.
Well, they're hesitant to predict it.
The alternative is even more daunting.
Mm-hmm.
Where the atmosphere completely disappears.
Exactly. I'm predicting there will be weather on Monday.
You're sucked into an alternate universe.
They're going out on a limb here.
Mm-hmm. Right. Exactly. Apparently it's in Pittsburgh too. So, all right. This next one is, you heard the old adage, location, right? Whoever opened up this store, genius. Ready? Liquor store. Look what he's right next to.
Yeah.
Bankruptcy lawyer and a divorce lawyer right next to a liquor store.
Now, here's the real question.
Mm-hmm.
Which comes first, the chicken or the egg? Does it go left to right or right to left?
I think it goes left to right and then left again.
Well, you start in the middle, you go to the right. Well, actually, you start in the middle and then left and right happen simultaneously.
It just starts on, depending on where you're on. Well, I mean, depending on how you're facing it. Starts at the liquor store, goes over to the bankruptcy lawyer, then winds up at the divorce lawyer, and then back to the liquor store.
No. It starts with the divorce, and then the bankruptcy is part of that. Right. And the liquor is, just a.
See, I think it either starts with bankruptcy,
right,
and then you get divorced, and then you start drinking way too much, or you're just a drunk, then you get divorced.
Women are way too smart to get. The divorce will always happen before the bankruptcy.
Well, yeah,
it'll cause the bankruptcy, but
so I think it's liquor, divorce, and then you don't have a woman to handle your finances, and you're an alcoholic, so then you declare
bankruptcy. There you go. One-stop shopping, if you will.
Yeah. No matter what order, it's a lousy series of events. That's for sure.
All right, now we move on to some food items. Okay, I've never heard of this cut of ham. Have you?
No, not so boldly and brazenly advertised.
It's vagina ham.
Usually costs a lot more.
Clay, that is $42. I don't know if that's a pound or total or what, but
yeah, a pound or
by the hour.
I guess $42 an hour.
$42 a minute.
Vagina ham. Ham. Never heard of that cut before, but
they're doing amazing things with Sal these days.
I can imagine. Exactly. And then here's a festival. Not sure if I'd attend. There you go. The Testicle Festival is April 15th at 5 p.m. They got a lot of balls to hold this festival.
Well, you go to a testicle festival every week. It's called a brewery.
I see where you went there. Fair enough. All right. Anyway, they got a lot of balls to hold this festival, though.
That's right.
You know,
The VFW post 4171.com. No dot, just com.
No dot, just com. All right.
Yeah.
They ran out of black ones, so they used red. Did you notice that?
Yeah,
They
exactly.
they don't really believe in punctuation there.
Nah.
Well, they had to use they had to use two of the ones as the I's in testicle and in festival. So,
Well, I wonder what it was supposed to be.
Actually, I think the 1 and the 15 is an I also.
mhm.
Was it
So
supposed to be
look at
like an icicle festival? Or
It could be an icicle festival in April, though.
do you really think they had a testicle festival?
I really don't want to know.
It's on tax.
Honestly.
It's on tax day, so that's. I mean,
Yeah.
that should be makes sense.
Let's see, tactical festival,
Tactical festival, maybe.
taxable festival,
Taxing, yeah.
tactician festival. I don't know. It's hard to.
Maybe it is just a testicle festival.
Maybe they are having a testicle festival.
There's
Is
like
that-
some sort. Maybe there's like screening. You know, there's going to be a doctor there checking you,
Right.
turn your head and cough.
And they call it a festival.
And they did well. You know, how do you
right.
get people in?
AC/DC's Big Balls plays on a loop.
Whatever they. Oh, that's a hernia check, right? You know,
That's 30 check.
instead
yeah,
of
like-
hernia check, they go to the testicle festival.
That's right. Yeah. Anyway,
That's possible. Somebody's gonna have to go to VFW post 4171,
That's
assuming
right.
it's .com, just to check it out.
see who won scrotum of the year.
Like to see the PR photo of.
I mean, at a VFW post, it could be like whose testicles actually hit the floor. Like you dip them in chalk and see who can write their name.
or maybe raising money for replacement testicles for some.
Gives a whole new meaning to the word "drop them," but they're just
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. Tea bags included with every ticket.
And we go on all night. There we go.
All right.
Right, Testicle Festival. There you go. And to wrap it up, should have done that one last. And to wrap it up, we have this one. Now, this is in the UK. All right, this is an actual company.
The
All right.
bollocks festival.
This is an actual company. I just want either one of you to read the name of the company. Here we go.
Well,
Yeah.
that's yeah.
Out loud.
Well, it's Mike Hunt Whistles,
Does it?
the number one UK supplier to the trade. Well,
Mhm.
if it whistles, then hey,
That's
some
how
women women get whistled on a construction site.
That's how you
This-
know she's ready.
Some women
This-
whistle back.
This one whistles back.
When it's whistling, you know she's ready.
There you
It
go.
might not necessarily be a woman, but it's Mike's.
Here's the thing, though. What trade are they referring to? Referees?
Whistles.
Police?
The whistle train.
Anybody uses the whistle,
Well,
which I
but
think
mean,
is
that's-
ref soccer
Referees,
I would think referees,
police officers,
police
crossing
officers,
guards.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dog trainers,
gym instructors.
yeah. The one backup singer in 70s funk bands.
Right.
Yeah, the lead singer's cousin who has no
That's right. Yeah,
melody.
that's right. Got a good whistle solo in the fourth song. Yeah. Play that funky music. Whistle breakdown. Yeah, what a horrible facade on that building. It's just yeah.
Very weird.
Well, I just wonder if see that this is the thing. That's not that's a pretty commonly used word in the UK. Or at least in Britain,
Whistle?
I would say. Yeah, no. You know what I mean? Britain
Yeah.
and Ireland and all that. It's you know what I
Right.
mean? It's not taboo like it is here. So this is
Yeah.
a joke that like this would kind of fall flat.
Right. Over there, it didn't. Well, yeah, exactly.
No, I think it would.
I think
doesn't
people
fall
would
too
get
far,
it, but it's not like
I don't think they're as
oh.
offended at the word there, but they still use
No,
it in a
because
way that
because it means something different. It means like an asshole or a jerk or
yeah,
something there.
yeah.
You know, so it's not that doesn't have that kind of right. Because here in the States, the C word, you know, it's one of the taboo words, right?
Yeah.
But over there, it's commonly used. Not for this doesn't mean the same thing, but
Right. It's gender neutral and gluten free over there.
yeah,
Exactly. So it's Michael Hunt Whistles. There you go.
All right.
All right. There you go. So those are the memes for today. So there you go. All right. And a hush falls over the crowd.
we've got to leave them wanting more.
Got to
memes.
leave them. Exactly. More to come. No pun intended.
All right.
All right. So
what else we got?
let's move into some football. I mean, tis the season, right? Let's start off with the national championship. All right. I was not expecting that dominant of a game from Michigan. Were either of you?
No, but Michigan just dominated them on both sides of the line.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a classic old school Michigan football game. You know, they passed it 6 times and they ran for like 812 yards.
It was 814 actually.
And they took a very good Washington offense and had them really off their game. There was one point there early in, I guess, the third quarter where it was like, all right, this could get close and could get tied up, but then it just went off the rails for Washington. And congratulations to Michigan, whatever. But at least it's not Alabama or LSU. So
I didn't watch it, so I don't know.
Yeah, there we go.
College football is dead to me.
Yeah,
not that it was ever one of my favorite things in the world, but I'm done with it.
Yeah.
Congratulations to the Michigan Mosquitoes.
Congratulations to Michigan. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen Washington. It would have been a cool story.
I'll tell you what. There's that offensive line for Michigan was just there's got to be 2 or 3 first or second round picks on the and the thing is that Washington won the offensive line of the year award this year, and there's probably 1 or 2 guys that are going to be drafted off that, but Michigan's offensive line was just it was an amazing performance. Now, the one thing I will say about that, for those guys, they're running the ball, and so as an offensive lineman, you love that, and that's why a lot of great collegiate offensive linemen don't translate to the NFL because it gets flipped. Instead of running the ball 85% of the time, you got to pass block them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It was a dominant win by Michigan, and it proves that I think ranking system sort of worked. I do think these were the 2 best teams. And you could argue that maybe, just maybe, Alabama might have given them a better a better game, but who knows? So. But yeah, there you go. Congrats.
There you go. And speaking of Alabama, Nick Saban retiring.
Decides to hang him up.
Hanging him up.
He's going to take another shot at the pro game?
I don't think so. I think
he's done.
I think he's done.
I think there's something.
What about
there
Harbaugh? Is Harbaugh going to the pros?
I think Harbaugh would be dumb to do anything other than to stay in Michigan.
The money he's getting handed from Michigan, and
but he's accomplished what he wanted to accomplish there.
Yeah, but if he could win one more, with Michigan, he'll go down. I mean, I think there's opportunities for him in the pros, but I think that if you can succeed at the college level in today's game. And this is one of the reasons why I think Saban's hanging it up. You got to run that out because it's very different, I think, coaching in the pros and college. And, Saban didn't have a great run in the pros.
No, Saban didn't have a great run.
Harbaugh didn't necessarily have a wonderful run, in the pros.
So, well, he went to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Lost to his brother.
I guess he did better than most.
Right.
But I don't know. I think he's going to stay in Michigan. I think he's got 4 or 5 more years there minimum. We'll see what happens. I think they're poised to be a good team again next year. And if he could do something that's very rare and come back at that level. I also think there was a little bit of a dark cloud over this win and over this season for obvious reasons. And
Right.
I think he'd like to. I think there's still a little bit of a chip there, and I think he's going to run it back with Michigan.
I agree. I do.
I
Agree.
think if he gets the right offer, he goes pro.
Well, obviously, if something stupid like total control and yada yada, but anybody be stupid not to take that, right? If it's something that they're even remotely interested in. I was just going to say the only on that note, when you're speaking about college on the pros, since 1990, so in 34 years, there's only been one coach to win a national championship and a Super Bowl, and he just retired too.
Yeah, they're going to build a statue of him out of chewing gum.
Pete Carroll chewing gum statue.
Yes.
And he's not leaving apparently he's not leaving the organization though. He's not leaving Seattle. He's just they step down. He's going to be an advisor. So whatever that
we'll see. I think I think he was sort of nudged out. But but I think he loves being in Seattle and loves that organization. And I'm not sure that's such a good thing. If it's just going to be a role where he's around every once in a while so he can come in the locker room and say hello and walk up and down the hallway real fast and chew gum, then that's great. But I'm not sure Pete Carroll's done coaching.
He's 72. He's older
70,
than he's 72.
Yeah.
He's older than he's a year and a half, 2 years older than Belichick.
Yeah, but I don't think Belichick's done with coaching.
Well, of course not. We'll talk about that in a minute.
And I think Carroll's, I think over the last couple of years, he's done some of his best work. Now, they missed the playoffs this year, and they definitely had a little bit of a slide towards the end there. Mm-hmm. But, I don't know. I mean, Pete Carroll's had an interesting career, right? We all remember he much like Saban has been around the block quite a bit.
Just a bit.
And I don't know. I think I'll give it some time. I think in a year's time he's gonna get bored with being some sort of consultant for the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah,
gotcha.
For whatever reason, maybe he's not ready to go somewhere else and coach right away, but wants to stay in the game rather than retire and then maybe come back or whatever.
Right.
But I would be surprised if he doesn't.
I also think that he's the kind of guy who I think he would entertain an offer as a defensive coordinator on certain teams. I really do. Yeah. I just think he likes coaching.
Yeah.
I don't think it's an ego thing with him.
And he's in a position where, except for one play, right? If one play goes differently.
Yeah, he's a two-time Super Bowl winner.
Right. Back-to-back.
Two-time NCAA champion, two-time
back-to-back Super Bowl winner. And how many guys can say that? So that puts a whole different. Now that I don't know if that means he doesn't leave now, given the way the last few seasons have gone. But yeah, sure. I think he'll be back.
Well, the one comment
I can't imagine like Belichick is going to not go for Shula's record with something.
No, he's going to go for the record. But here's the one common denominator.
14 games. So
here's the one common denominator. Yeah, which is 3-4 years he should have it, no problem. Here's the one common denominator is that they're men of a certain age, and I think the organizations realize that their brand of leadership is just. You can't run a team like that anymore.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, especially I was thinking about Carroll. Like, maybe the team just kind of said, maybe you're not the right guy to lead us in this capacity that you've been in, but you can still. Well, so why don't you take a year, get outside of that, and then maybe build those kind of revamp your skills in that capacity. And learn how to do some things a little bit differently, because you're right. It's a different game now. Mm-hmm. The players are different. The schemes are different. It's still football, but yeah, some of these guys, they do it an old school way, and it's hard for old dogs to learn new tricks.
And the league's run by the players now, and these players don't want to be motivated. There's no need for motivation. I was listening to Randy Moss today talk about Bill Belichick after his 10th year in the league, saying he motivated him. He motivated him, one of the greatest receivers, to play better. So I just don't think these
guys
really want that anymore.
Right.
Yeah, a guy that was not known for being motivated.
Yeah, right.
And Randy Moss, right?
Yeah.
Well, what you call it? On that note, I don't think Belichick. Yeah, Belichick's out after what 24 seasons now. He's out, leaving. Ironically, I'll get to that in a minute, but he's definitely got it. Now we've talked about this, right? We speculated a couple shows ago,
right.
About obviously it's a ready-made situation for him, kind of, sort of, in San Diego. And we're not the only ones saying that, right? Obviously, there's chatter about that. There's talk about that.
Although it's not. It doesn't seem to be number one on most people's lists.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly enough, but yeah.
And I said San Diego. Of course, it's L.A. Right? Obviously, it's the
we know what you're talking about.
The Chargers. So,
Clippers.
The Clippers.
He's going to coach the Clippers, and they're finally
Clippers. Yeah,
going to get Paul George on board.
Exactly. Now, on that note, Mike Vrabel let go by the Titans.
Right.
Is he in the lead? Is he the main focus now for Robert Kraft in New England?
I think Kraft is not going to go. He's not going to take anybody from the Belichick tree. I think Kraft understands what I was just talking about better than anybody else. It's going to be a younger coach. It's going to be a new.
Well, Mike Vrabel's a younger coach.
But what I'm saying is that they're not going to take anybody from the Belichick tree. Number one,
who from the Belichick tree has had a particular amount of success?
Vrabel might be the most.
Right. It's a short list.
Yeah, and there's also
one
other
who have not done well.
There's also one other. There's also one other coach that was mentioned. I heard several times today in some reports mentioned alongside Vrabel for that job and from the Belichick tree, and that's Brian Flores.
Yeah. Flores doesn't impress me.
Yeah.
Flores.
Yeah, I agree with Harry though. I don't think it's going to be just one of these kind of constant retreads.
Right.
I think it's going to be a. I think
Vrabel will be looked at. I think Vrabel will be looked at. I do. I think Vrabel will be looked at.
Well, he'll be looked at. I think if they do go that route, I think it's kind of a mistake. But whatever.
Well, now the other thing here is,
I don't think it's the worst.
We've got a. I mean, I don't know if we'll ever be privy to this information, but things are very, very different now as far as obviously the coaching landscape and the hiring process. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Belichick was hired. There was no Rooney Rule. There was no uproar about, equanimity. I don't want to say equality, but, speaking to all sorts of people, i.e. races and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe, Kraft has perhaps a little bit of a deficit of skills in the new way of doing things. So how does he go about that? Who does he bring in to make sure that he's checking all of those boxes and making sure everybody's, getting a fair shot?
Right, because now there's no real GM of the Patriots, correct? If I'm not mistaken.
I think that's step number one.
Because that's
that's what I mean. He's got to bring in somebody who's familiar with the way we do it today and has to be done today. Right. And maybe then Kraft has to kind of step back and say, okay, just go do it, because it's been a quarter century.
Yeah.
And I think he's
really had to, make any of these kind of decisions. So
I think Kraft's a pretty good owner, and I think he'll do the right thing.
I think he is too.
And I think he's also going to be looking to hand the reins on his end over once this transition happens.
Mm-hmm.
I really do.
Now, does he have like an idiot son, like
probably, yeah,
like the Raiders or whatever?
It seems
like half these teams have moron. The old owners have moron children,
or a smart daughter like the Lakers, or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Right, who has to wait like an extra 10 years to really get the
has to wait till she's 65
she deserves anyway. Yeah.
Had a fucking
until they're floundering, and they go, well, no one else wants it. Go ahead.
Put up with Phil Jackson roaming around the house for 20 years,
just to prove that she was really the woman,
really the one. Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll do anything, Dad. I'll do anything.
You watched that? You watched that too, didn't you? The Showtime.
So now she's like, what was the movie with Robbie Benson, the basketball player?
Oh yeah.
1-on-1. I ran the stairs, coach. I'll do anything.
Yeah.
I'll do anything. You're not gonna get my scholarship. That was her.
Yeah.
And I mean, give me this team.
Oh, Genie Bus.
There you But all right,
well, by the way, I just realized I just found out the other day is married to Jay Moore.
really?
Oh, really?
Comedian. Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Good for him.
Strange.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, and his wife was
Tits McGee, who's married to Bobcat
whatever,
Goldthwait.
the red booby loppers, whatever her name was.
Yeah.
Tits McGee.
Nikki Cox, wasn't it?
Yeah.
COX Cox.
Nikki Cox. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. Isn't she with Bobcat Goldthwait now?
I believe so. Yes.
6 degrees of Jay Moore. Yeah.
There you go.
Good for him. Good for you, Jay.
We'll see. I don't really. I mean, it's we'll see who the Patriots go for. I think Kraft is going to go outside of the box, meaning the Belichick box. I'll tell you what, and he's a hot name right now, and I think it's mostly because of the way the players relate to him. But if Vegas does not sign Antonio Pierce as a head coach, I think he's going to get some talk for the New England job.
Well, he's already being interviewed. They requested an interview with him in Tennessee today.
I think he'll get an interview in Tennessee. I think he's going to probably get an interview in New England.
If he doesn't get hired by Vegas or Tennessee or New England or anywhere else, I can see him filling Wink's shoes.
Yeah, and then he could be the coach in a year. Yeah, the head coach.
You've lost your stock in Dable.
My problem with the Giants is neither Dable nor Wink, although I think Wink's a fucking hothead. 27th ranked defense. Yeah, everybody loves him. Who gives a shit?
Well, on that note, I'll tell you in a minute.
It's the Giants front office. They're not gonna draft a quarterback. They passed on Micah Parsons. They could have had Aiden Hutchinson. They've made mistakes after mistakes.
Let's look at it this way. All right. Now I blame John Mara because he could have overruled Gettleman, but passing on Micah Parsons was probably the biggest bonehead move in recent history with the Giants.
No, it's not the biggest bonehead move. The biggest bonehead move, 1 and 2, was drafting Daniel Jones and then signing Daniel Jones. Those were the two worst moves in the history of New York sports.
Not signing Micah Parsons was probably worse than drafting Daniel Jones.
I don't think so.
Because they still had Eli Manning when they drafted Daniel Jones.
I'd put Saquon in there too, signing him with your first pick.
Well, Saquon, yeah.
Saquon's he's a really good player, but you've got nothing.
He's not great.
You haven't which is not always his fault. He's obviously
Saquon's
had some injuries. That happens. But I mean, this was the guy that you were going to build your team around, and it hasn't worked out.
But Saquon's going to go out there in the free agent market, and he's going to find out that he's going to get exactly what the Giants have paid him the last couple of years on maybe a 3-year deal.
Yeah, and here's the other thing too, right?
And who cares?
Because in this free agent market for running backs, Saquon's not the only one. Derrick Henry's in this market.
Yeah, right. But that's what I'm saying. You throw that in there with Parsons
Jacobs is in
and with Jones and with the re-signing of Jones.
Austin Eckler's in this market.
That's a lot of bad moves over the last.
Singletary's in this market. There's a lot of top end, high end running backs,
right,
that are free agents in this after this season. So
yep.
It's not like he's the only one, and somebody that really needs a franchise running back can come and scoop him up, and he can make a couple extra bucks. It's not the case this year. Right. I would not be surprised if they don't tag him again. They're not going
to tag him.
Well, they have a tag. They don't need to use it on anyone else.
I think that
you know what I mean.
I mean,
there really isn't another skill player that they're going to.
I think if they tag him and re-sign him for another year, you're going to have a very disgruntled Saquon Barkley.
I don't know. Well, we'll see what happens. Anyway, on that note, as far as Wink goes, there were rumblings around the pundits, if you will. Today, I heard it late last night, and I heard it today. Xavier McKinney, he's going to be a free agent in March too. Whether the Giants re-sign him or not, they may use the tag on him.
By the way, can I just ask a question before we go any further on the Wink Martindale thing? Has he officially resigned, or is this going to be a
Yes.
Seinfeld episode?
No.
where he just walks back in and pretends nothing happened.
It apparently it came out today. He's out. He's available to go with any other team. The Giants don't owe him money. He quit. It's from what I read today. It's done.
Yeah.
This is their defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
The defensive coordinator. Yeah.
The former game show host.
Yeah.
He's
good.
Yeah, that's a bad hire. How do you do that?
yeah.
The guy's good with a microphone, but that's it.
He looks like a combination of Rex and Buddy Ryan.
So let me finish with
Yeah,
McKinney.
good.
The report is that whether they re-sign him or not, the report out there is that McKinney stated prior to this that if they retain Wink as a defensive coordinator, he did not want to come back.
Yeah, and then you have the guys on the other side, like Dexter Lawrence, who are saying, look, I understand all of that. Coaches, the best coaches, very few coaches in this league where while the players are playing for them, the players outright love them. You shouldn't love them. That's not their job.
No.
Yeah. And I'm not suggesting Dable's the right answer here, because there's obviously some problems here. But I understand it from Dable's perspective. Dable's the head coach, and he had a guy who obviously felt like the pressure was on him with the Giants' pathetic offense. But as bad as the Giants' offense was, the Giants' defense was worse. Now, you could say that they had some good games towards the end of the year, and they were starting to look a little better. Great. That's fantastic. But the Giants' defense was 27th in the league.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
See ya.
And he got pissed, and this whole thing apparently stemmed out on Monday with when Dable fired two members of of Wink's assistants, and he blew up at Dable and walked out and got on a plane and went home.
And who knows?
That's a great way to do it. Then I'll get rid of your assistants. And
maybe Dable handled that long, but
then I don't have to take you out to lunch in a crowded restaurant and let you go.
Right, but he was apparently pissed that he didn't consult him first. He's the head coach. He doesn't have to consult you.
Well, I could see Wink's side of this, but again, it's because Wink. You
can see Wink's side of it if the defense was any good.
Right.
Again, look, as a courtesy, I would say yes. Dable at least should have told him. It shouldn't have been, I'm thinking about this. What do you think? Should have been, I'm going to do this. I'm just letting you know beforehand as a courtesy. Sure. But Dable's the head coach, and the defense sucks.
Right.
And if
Wink Martindale,
if he thought those guys needed to go, or whether that was just a way to get Martindale out without having to fire him to his face or whatever, which is kind of a chicken thing to do. But that's some people are passive aggressive. Either way, he's gone. It worked.
Right.
Look, this is a do or die offseason for both Brian Dable and the Giants. Brian Dable needs to be able to go to the management of the New York Giants and say, "Hey, I need a quarterback. This draft is ripe with them.
Mm-hmm.
We need to draft one."
Look,
now,
there are 6 or 8 good quality quarterbacks in this draft. The Giants are picking 6, and not everybody above them is going to take a quarterback.
No.
They can have a quarterback without moving.
Oh, I know. And look, it's uncertain, blah, blah, blah. Well, this Giants team, there's one thing that this season, more than any other season, has proven to be in the direction of where the NFL is going, is that the quarterback is more important than ever before.
Yeah.
You cannot win without a good quarterback. You cannot anymore. You can't. And you have to be too deep, because the amount of injuries that happen to these guys is higher than ever.
Right.
So if the Giants take some unknown edge rusher or a third-rate receiver from Mississippi University in the first round, because some idiot,
never heard of that before.
Some idiot scout who's also picked the last 8 picks for the Giants. Look, again, it's like, has Kayvon Thibodeau lived up to his billing?
Apparently, there's some speculation that it was Wink that was causing, because he's got a lot of really intricate plans and schemes and stuff, and a lot of the guys were just like somebody said. I watched on Good Morning Football this morning. They were saying they almost with a Wink Martindale defense.
Good Morning Football.
I know, with a Wink Martindale defense, the schemes.
Is that the guy with the ears
else.
on Good Morning Football?
No. That's after. That's after Good Morning Football.
At least it's the playoffs he's watching now, not November 4th.
No, but in any event,
sits there in his boxers
on a Thursday morning watching Good Morning
Hot
Football
Stove and Good Morning
with
Football.
a bowl of Fruit Loops in his underwear. Yeah.
In any event, they were saying that Wink Martindale schemes and everything else. You almost every season you're giving up the first 4 games because it's taking the defenses, even with mini camps and throughout training camp and everything else. It's taking them a good 3-4 games into the season to grasp everything that he's throwing at them, and so it's almost like you're writing off the first 4 weeks of the season just to be involved with it. So
all right, well, listen,
whatever.
The Giants aren't playing anymore, so
I know it's what it is.
Let's not get too far into the minutia.
Let's not do
move
that.
on.
Of Wink
All right.
Martindale's
All right, so I got an NFL coaches.
Oh,
just a quickie for you. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Let's put it up.
the most ironically named part of the show, just a quickie.
Well, this one is just a quickie.
It's never quick.
There you go. All right, so just a quickie. NFL coaches, potential new hires. Here we go.
All right.
You got to pick one.
All
You got to pick one. Okay.
Pick one. 9 gotta go.
Who is gonna be the best? Who's gonna benefit the team that hires this person the best? All right.
Okay. Who's gonna be the best hire for the team?
Who's gonna be the best hire for any team out of these 3 coaches? Mike Vrabel, Antonio Pierce, or Bill Belichick?
Bill Belichick.
I have to go Belichick.
Both of you, Belichick.
Yeah.
Okay. Even in the long run.
What's a long run?
Well, I mean, if I were speculative, I'd say maybe Pierce. He could turn out to be a great coach, lock in somewhere over the next 10 years, and be wonderful for the team. Vrabel, how long has he been a head coach? How many seasons? He's
5.
not bad, but I don't
6.
know if he's the guy who's going to be great.
He's the Kirk Cousin of coaches.
Yeah, I mean, he's okay, but I don't. Who's more likely to open a new chapter or open and blossom as a coach? I would think a new guy, maybe like Pierce.
Pierce
probably won't be around that long. But if he goes to a somewhat moribund or maybe not that bad, but downtrodden franchise and revitalizes them, then that's and that's the bet. They get the best 4 or 5 years they've had in a couple of decades out of Bill Belichick. Well, then he's great for that team, right?
Right.
If he builds them up and leaves them in a significantly better place, even if he doesn't take them to the Super Bowl, then that's going to be great for them. And I don't know if Vrabel is a guy who's going to do that.
I got you.
And Pierce is probably, maybe comes on like gangbusters if he gets a job. Maybe it takes him 4 or 5 years.
Pierce is unknown. Pierce is a great story. I wish him all the luck in the world, but he's unproven.
Right. And again, even if he gets a job, it's going to probably take him a couple of years to.
He was a linebacker. He's a linebackers coach. He's never been a coordinator, and he's never been a head coach.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I mean. It's going to take him a little time. He might be a wonderkind that somebody needs to take a chance on, but probably it's going to still take a few years because he does have those other steps that you just mentioned to sort of learn on the job. So,
well, for me, if it means anything, I would pick Belichick on that too. So, but all right, cool. Well, there you go. There's NFL coaches. Potential new hires, just a quickie. There you go. All right.
Let me ask you guys this while we're talking about football.
Go for it.
And we covered one half of the tenants of MetLife Stadium. Let's talk about the other tenants of MetLife Stadium who play the game of football.
So is that the Cosmos?
The Cosmos, the New York Football Club Cosmos. I say Aaron Rodgers needs to be cut loose. Done. Goodbye. Forget about the potential for whatever. See you later. What do you?
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Well,
you're not off base, but it's not going to happen.
They're just so
it's not going to happen. Woody Johnson is so wrapped up in just to see. First of all, First of all, okay, let's back up a second. If Aaron Rodgers didn't exist in the Jets organization, that whole scenario wasn't there, would Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas still be employed by the Jets right now? We'll start with Robert Saleh. Would Robert Saleh still be employed?
Yeah, Saleh, I think, still would.
I don't know. Maybe not.
With Vrabel leaving his job, with Belichick leaving his job, with Pete Carroll leaving his job, Robert Saleh is okay.
Well, but see, everybody in the management of that team has that built-in excuse now,
right?
But now, so you're saying if Aaron Rodgers had never come there,
didn't come there, the season went the way it went.
Okay, so then they would have floundered along with. Well,
the question's wrong. It's Nathaniel Hackett.
No, that's fine. But answer my question the way it was. So everybody's there. Aaron Rodgers never existed. He was never signed. They brought Nathaniel Hackett there. He was there. Whatever.
I think
Aaron Rodgers never took those 4 snaps. He was not ever involved with the Jets this year. So same exact season happens.
Right. So
Robert Saleh still the head coach?
Because of the quarterback-rich draft, I think they might keep him around. And I know a lot of people are down on Joe Douglas, and there are some reasons to be, but I don't think he's done that horrible a job. But Wilson was a mistake.
Right.
And maybe Woody Johnson likes Saleh and likes what he brings and wants to give him a chance. And again, says, okay, Wilson was a mistake, so we need to move on from that, but I still believe in this coach. And gives him another chance with another rookie quarterback, which, again, I think that's part of the problem because it's, as we've talked about before, it's really rare to bring in somebody right out of college and they succeed wonderfully. And this team is built to do that now with the defense the way it is, which will be another year, older and all that. So I think Saleh might be given one more chance with a different quarterback.
No, but the fact that Aaron Rodgers is there and the fact that Woody Johnson has put so much into that signing still, there's no way he's getting cut loose.
He's getting the back pages. He's getting news because of Rodgers' idiocy, not because of anything he does in the field.
Right.
But, I mean, it depends. If Rodgers has tried to make amends with Jimmy Kimmel now, with his explanation, not an apology, but whatever. If some sort of lawsuit moves forward, then might be a little different story. But
I think he's going to be named as Trump's vice president. Look,
I think he should be the head of the CDC.
Here's my question back to you, Josh.
CDC. There you go.
If Aaron Rodgers wasn't there, would Nathaniel Hackett still have a job?
Well, if Aaron Rodgers didn't come, Nathaniel Hackett wouldn't have come.
But what I'm saying is, if Aaron Rodgers, but let's assume Nathaniel Hackett was there,
and Aaron Rodgers didn't come,
and Aaron Rodgers wasn't there right now, would Nathaniel Hackett still have a job?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
I think he's the weak spot in the Jets coaching.
I think he is too.
Yeah.
Now, let's say Rodgers says, I'm not coming back. Injury, I know, but for the sake of argument, let's say he doesn't. Yeah. Can you keep Saleh and get rid of Hackett? Or do you give Hackett another shot with a new rookie quarterback?
I think Rodgers doesn't see the forest through the trees with Hackett. He wants that familiarity of having Hackett around. So right. I think Hackett's tied to Rodgers. I agree with you. I think that if the Jets had brought in a different offensive coordinator with Rodgers, I think the Jets have a better chance. I'm not sold on Nathaniel Hackett. That's my point.
Well, there's not much reason to be.
Yeah.
Right. It's been terrible this year, and it was terrible in Denver. Right. There's a history, albeit short. I mean, the Jets can be a long time in the NFL to fail miserably.
The Jets
with Russell Wilson.
Right.
And then, he's failed with the great Wilson, then he's failed with a lousy Wilson.
A lesser Wilson, not much.
A Wilson of lesser stature.
Yeah. Maybe they just put Wilson the volleyball out there and see if he can do it.
Wilson. Right. Well, on that note, though, okay, I had a conversation. Both of you know us a few weeks ago with Nathaniel Hackett. No, with Mr. Klecko.
Joe Klecko.
What did he have to say?
And he and
Fire all of them.
he and I were discussing the fact that week before was the game that Zach Wilson had actually had a decent game and they won. And we were talking and he said, you know why? I don't put words in his mouth. I'm paraphrasing a little bit. Okay. Bottom line was,
give us your best Joe Klecko impersonation.
He was basically alluding to the fact that the person that was calling the offensive plays that game was not Nathaniel Hackett.
It was Aaron Rodgers.
It was Aaron Rodgers. So that game that they won, that Zach Wilson that performed well, Aaron Rodgers was OC.
Look, I think Rodgers, much like Brady, much like a lot of great quarterbacks, brings more than just what he does on the field to the team.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Rodgers has gotten a little. The media landscape has allowed us to see deep inside the insanity that is Aaron Rodgers. He's not alone in pro sports with a lot of this. Trust me. He just has a bigger microphone and bullhorn.
Yeah, he has a big platform. Yeah. But
I still think the Jets have to give it a shot. We had 4 plays last year. Let's at least get a couple games in, But I still think the Jets have some major holes. I think they could be filled. I think the Jets, it's amazing how much better receivers get when you got somebody like Aaron Rodgers throwing to you. The question mark, much like a lot of teams, is can they protect him? And I think that's what the Jets. I'm less concerned about a Jets offensive coordinator. I think the Jets need to go full steam ahead with an offensive line and an offensive line coach that can just keep things simple and run an offense that is geared towards Aaron Rodgers. And that's bop, 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 bam, bop, 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 bam, and let him do what he needs to do. And I think the Jets can be successful.
I think I said that pretty much the same thing. Their main focus from now until the beginning of next season should be the offensive line.
Absolutely.
You have a running back. You have a really good receiver in Wilson, and you have a running back. I don't know, what Dalvin Cook. That's just an incredible waste of talent. But again, I think that's Hackett more than Dalvin Cook, who suddenly couldn't play football anymore. But so you have those two other pieces.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out this weekend if he actually plays for the Ravens. So
right. So so make a great offensive line, keep Aaron Rodgers healthy, and you should be able to at least move the ball.
There you go.
Yeah,
I agree.
We're Giants and Jets fans. We're settling for hey, if all this happens, then you should be at least able to move the ball.
Everything works out perfectly. You'll be able to win a game.
Able to get a couple first downs.
Anyway, couple things.
Hey.
I'll be quick. I'm not even gonna backtrack a few weeks ago and talk about the Lions Cowboys game with the refs call at the end there. It's pointless to even discuss right now. But you guys both know how I feel about that. But in any event, couple things really quick. Do you know there were in the 2021 draft? All right, Zach Wilson was taken in the 2021 draft. In the 2021 draft, there were 5 quarterbacks taken in the first round of the 2021 draft. Only one of them is in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And he's a backup quarterback.
That's right.
Trey Lance.
Yeah.
He's Dak Prescott's backup quarterback.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the only reason he's in the
he
would if he was still on a team he was with, obviously he'd be in the playoffs too, but that's besides the point. But yeah, no. Trevor Lawrence is not in the playoffs. Zach Wilson, obviously, Justin Fields, Mac Jones, none of them. So as good of a quarterback draft as 2021 was, not so much.
That's right, because Burrow was 2020.
Right, and a lot of people thought that Lance was a reach anyway.
Yeah. When he went before Mac Jones. Mac Jones went last of all of them.
Right. Well, and listen, Mac Jones had a great rookie year and hasn't been so good since then. So I mean, the book's still open on him, but it always takes time. That always reveals whether these guys are actually, good, and of course, what situations they're in. Do they have a chance to be good? But
and I still say I did not want Chicago to take Justin Fields because Chicago taking Justin Fields with the pick they took him at, they had to take the Giants pick to get him. And the Giants lost out on Micah Parsons. But, there you go. Anyway,
they have Chicago as number 1 now, right?
Chicago's number one. Well, they have Carolina's pick.
By Carolina, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their
It
pick
was,
is
in fact, as I predicted, the worst team in the NFL. That's my talent.
Yeah, there's a
Being
lot.
a Jet fan so long keys you into who's really, really
You
bad.
could spot fucking horribleness
I can
from a
spot
mile away.
the worst fucking loser with one eye closed.
Well, on that note, biggest playoff drought. Okay.
Yeah.
The Denver Broncos have the second longest playoff drought. And
It's funny because they won a Super Bowl in 2015.
They won. Well, the Super Bowl was their last playoff.
I know.
game that they were in.
I know.
Right. So the last time the Broncos were in the Super Bowl, Peyton Manning was the quarterback. Last time the Broncos were in the playoffs, Peyton Manning was quarterback, and that's 8 years. The number one team is the Jets. 13 years. 13 years have not been in the playoffs. So, but the other thing I was going to say, New Orleans. I don't know if you heard this. New Orleans is actually considering adding John Gruden to their staff.
Just for
tells you a lot about New Orleans.
Right. Interesting. I thought. Here's one that's interesting. The only quarterbacks to lead the NFL in passing yards per game, passing touchdowns, and passing touchdown interception ratio in a single season. In 1989, Joe Montana. In 2007, Tom Brady. And this year, C.J. Stroud.
Interesting.
So, interesting company that rookie is in. Right? And it's a good thing that how do you think Dave Tepper feels? Trading up to get Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud goes to Houston and do this. I don't think C.J. Stroud would have done what he did with Houston in Carolina, mind you, but that's another story.
I think Houston was everything sort of fell in place. They had a lot of young players who gelled a lot better. Carolina is just sort of a miserable organization. And do I think Stroud is better? Yeah, but I don't think the book is closed.
No, I
Bryce Young yet.
Yeah,
no, I don't either. It's too.
No,
too
I don't
early.
think
It's too
he's
early to
gotten
tell.
a real fair shake. And
no, it's way too early.
I mean, Houston was in turmoil because of Watson, right?
Right.
It was sort of the holding pattern and this and that, and they weren't good, and they'd had a little bit of success and all that. But Carolina was a total, but Houston wasn't a shit show. Carolina was a total shit show.
Yeah.
With what was going on there with the coaching situation, all this. So, Bryce Young, I agree. The book is still wide open.
It's still open on him.
Don't think it's been a fair representation of his abilities yet.
This is the first year since 1998 that either Tom Brady or Peyton Manning are not in the playoffs. Not playing in the playoffs. First year since 98, one of them isn't in the playoffs. So weird to think about. Crazy to think about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like some of these things, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not as impressed by them.
Yeah, you go.
Like today I was watching, I don't think it was Good Morning Football. It was Get Up or First Take or maybe both or whatever. And they just were obviously Bill Belichick retiring is a big deal.
Well,
but it's like an hour later, you're still, they just go from one talking head to the next, and they all say the same thing about the admiration. I'm like, how? We got the news. I understand you're going to do some breaking down, and there's a lot to unpack here. What is there to unpack? He's retiring after 24 years. He won 6 Super Bowls. He's the greatest coach ever. How many different guys do you have to say that in a row? You know what I mean? Just like for an hour straight, they were talking.
It was more than that. It was more than that. From when the news broke.
That's when I stopped watching. From
when the news broke till we started this show tonight, ESPN was doing nothing but talking about Bill Belichick.
Yeah, and I'm like, what do you?
Nothing else.
What is
Bill Belichick.
What else is there to say? Yeah.
As long as it keeps Kendrick Perkins off, I don't fucking care.
No, they were even asking him about it. He was on one of the shows that I was thinking I was going to text you, and I was like, what are they asking Perkins about Belichick for? Who cares?
Not that anybody cares, but I can't believe I'm about to say this. I no longer watch ESPN in the morning.
It's pretty intolerable.
I don't either. That's why I've been watching Good Morning Football most of the time.
First Take has gotten so bad that I'd rather watch Skip.
Watch the Carton Show.
Yeah,
If you
I
can
do
get
like
it.
him.
If you can get the Carton Show.
What is that on? YouTube or something?
At Fox, right? FS1.
Is it on FS1? It's not on FS1
It might be.
nationally, is it?
I think it is.
Because it's at that time of day out here, it's
With
what's his
BET
name?
or
it's Skip Bayless with
Hallmark Network.
Yeah,
it's on BET.
TBS Classics. I don't know, one of those.
It's Craig Carton, Meredith Baxter, Bernie,
it's on the DraftKings channel. That's
Turner Classic Movies.
Yeah, it's on the DraftKings.
It's Craig Carton and Meredith Baxter, Bernie, right?
Bernie, right?
Yeah. Tony Danza comes on occasionally.
But yeah, I mean, it was just it was nauseating.
Yeah,
it was nauseating.
I agree.
Horrible.
I feel bad for Pete Carroll.
The other day they had whatever show it was, and look, I've had enough of Jeff Saturday. They have just it's a great song you hear on the radio. Well, not anymore, but back in the day.
Well, now they're showing him eating breakfast.
Then they'd play it every 3 hours until you were sick of it a week later. You know what I'm talking about? Enough Jeff Saturday everywhere, 6 times a week. I see him. They had the pancakes of the week segment where they're showing blockers who they're throwing pancakes at the monitor and stuff. I'm like, what has happened here?
I wish
four guys and they're all yelling a lot like this show, and it's just chaos. And I'm like,
wish Chris Russo had his own show.
Enough is already. Yeah, but yeah, it's virtually unwatchable. And the thing is, like, I love Greenberg, like on the radio. I think he's still doing a show. He does a 2-hour show in the middle of the day. I love listening to him, you know. But it's like he gets all these guys, and they got to figure out how to make it more exciting. Now there's a lot of different shows going on and stuff, but throwing pancakes and hey, you got pancake. Come on, man.
Yeah,
who's the big fat guy who breaks helmets with his hammer?
Thor? I don't know.
Thor.
Doesn't matter.
Exactly. Interesting fact here. Bill Belichick's career record as a head coach.
17-1.
With Tom Brady as starting quarterback, he's 249-75. Without Tom Brady as a starting quarterback, he's 84-103.
Yeah.
I think that debate's been settled. They both needed each other, but Brady was the larger factor.
Mm-hmm. There's never been a coach in any sport who has succeeded without great players. Never.
Right.
Yeah, but some coaches were able to bring in other players and make them great.
Yeah,
replacements.
but Greg Popovich
you're right.
has not had any success.
Right, but the players
Duncan.
have to do it on the court or the field or whatever it is.
Right. So anyway, all right. I think that's good.
Just actually one more thing I want to mention.
Go for it.
So I don't know if you heard. I think it was almost a month ago. I think they announced it. Al Michaels not doing any football for NBC in the playoffs.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Now, NBC says he was showing. You know, these announcers, they get old. They don't. This is not what they said, actually.
Wasn't he on Prime or something like that, Al Michaels?
Yeah, he was doing, I think, the Prime game.
Right.
So now they, they're saying, oh, he's not enthusiastic anymore. He doesn't, get up for the games. Maybe he's getting a little bit older. That's sort of the, But the conspiracy theory is he said something about the coverage when they were showing the Chiefs games, and they're always putting the camera on Taylor Swift, and they're buying it. And he goes something along the lines of NBC doing that for the ratings and not, really showing the game and trying to, because the Swifties, right? All the Swifties start watching and the ratings go up. So they're catering to that. Again, this I have to paraphrase. So he very subtly said maybe they're more, putting a little more emphasis on showing Taylor Swift to, give the audience what they want and pump the ratings up than concentrating on the game the way they should be. And shortly after he said that, got the axe in the playoffs. Now, look, maybe he's trying to hang on a little bit too long, but I tend to believe that he criticized the network, and that's why they. I
would tend to believe that with you.
Yeah.
On that note, though, it's funny you said that. We're going into the playoffs this weekend, obviously, right? This is the first time there's going to be a game on Peacock streaming. On
Yeah.
Peacock.
What is that?
The Chiefs.
Does it have a plus after it? Everything's a plus
just
now.
Peacock. It's NBC's streaming channel.
So we're not going to be able to watch that game on regular television.
No, you
that's
will
right.
not be able to watch the Chiefs Dolphins game on Saturday night this week. It's on Peacock only. That's it.
But
so
if you have, but I have. But do I have? I don't even know if I have Peacock.
no, you have to. It's a subscription. You have to.
You have to. It's paid.
If you don't, it's paid. If you don't subscribe,
Now,
to
are they
Peacock, you don't
showing
have
the
it.
game for free?
I have cable though. So
No, you have to have Peacock to watch the game.
It's like Netflix or Hulu.
It's like
or
Netflix
Paramount,
or Hulu or
Plus
Paramount or
whatever.
Disney
It's
or whatever.
subscription based. Now, are they showing the game for free though, or no?
Well, yeah,
Sometimes
no. Yeah, no. If you subscribe to Peacock, you watch the game. You don't have to pay extra.
But they won't. They won't make the game because sometimes they. I forget.
you won't be billed now, but you'll get $7.89.95 charges in the next.
Right,
year.
like you used to be able to watch the NCAA basketball tournament,
right,
on like the CBS app. You could watch it for free, but
right.
But I mean that was a network thing. But
yeah, no. This is you actually you have to be a subscriber to
Peacock in order to watch. Yeah, well, they did the same thing with baseball and Apple TV and whatever else.
Exactly. Right. So the fact that they're doing the game that they picked to do this with was the Chiefs Dolphins game. So it was the Chiefs game.
Right.
And the conspiracy theory is the fact that they picked that game because every Swiftie and their mother is going to pay and subscribe to Peacock so they can watch Taylor Swift at the Chiefs game.
I wonder what the refund policy is.
She's playing this week. They found
a receiver. Safety. She'd be
a hell of a receiver.
Strong safety, actually.
She's like
strong safety. Yeah. She's like a Ronnie Lott type.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's just sort of a free agent out there.
She's she's definitely more of a receiver.
I think she has all her fingers though.
Yeah,
she does.
Yeah. That's an interesting theory. I wonder what the refund policy though is. Can you sign up for it and then if you cancel within
you can sign up for it, but you have to sign up for it. You pay your first month, and then you can cancel.
And then you're done. So they'll take the.
In essence, I think it's $10.99 or
that's what I'm saying. They'll take the $9, $10, $11, $12 or whatever it is for 10 million viewers, let's say,
right,
and be done with it.
Be done with it. Yeah, and then, but some of them won't, cancel.
Right.
Most of them will. Some of them won't.
Right.
So they'll have 1 month from everybody. And then the extra months from the other people that don't cancel.
Well, good for them. That's what we call capitalism.
That's exactly what it is.
That's what makes it.
Our producer is saying we got to move along here. He wants us to get on with it. I think
he doesn't like talking about Taylor Swift.
He doesn't like talking about Taylor Swift. On that note, too, I don't know if you did. All right, watch them. Jess wanted to watch them. We were watching it the other night. The Golden Globes were on, and Joe Coy.
Oh, it's a great joke. It was funny, and the room felt quiet because they're a bunch of uptight cunts.
Was he the host?
He was the host. And he said,
I didn't watch it. If I'd known he was the host, I would have watched
it. I felt like I wrote that joke.
And he said, we're up against NFL Sunday Night Football. And the only difference between the Golden Globes and the NFL is the fact that Taylor Swift's not on camera as often as she is on the NFL.
The Golden Globes have less cutaways to Taylor Swift than the NFL.
Less cutaways to Taylor Swift, the NFL. Crickets. In the entire.
I felt bad.
That's a good joke.
I felt bad for him.
Right.
That room was the most uptight bunch of fucking assholes. That's a hard thing to do. Because
maybe he just doesn't have the gravitas in the community to.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he's a great comedian. The last couple of years for him have been huge. He's done big time specials and stuff.
I thought it was great, and I thought but look, whatever.
That's a good joke, though.
But
crickets.
Yeah.
So, what are you going to do? And on that note, one other conspiracy thing I want to throw this out there. Belichick just left the Patriots today, right? There's been speculation, but just left today, right? Apple TV on February 16th starts a promotion on Patriots, the history of the Patriots dynasty. I think they're calling it the dynasty or whatever the hell they're calling it, but it was announced today. Is that it seems to be a little ironic.
Oh God, you're gonna I'm gonna find you in a cold plunge eating raw dude.
No, but obviously they're, whatever is what it is. I thought it was funny. All right. I think we need to talk some games, don't you?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Did I send? Oh, I didn't send you the picture of.
You did.
No, I posted on the.
You posted it on that. Yeah.
All right, so
we'll just talk about it. So, yeah.
Play the sounder and let's get on with it.
Let's play the sounder and get on with it. It's time for Beaten by the Coin.
Coin.
I'm sure I'll lose to the coin.
No one wants to be beaten by the coin.
Oh boy. You go right to the end. Yeah, we go right. All right.
Yeah, there you go.
It's been an ugly season. We may, in fact, find out that it is possible for a human being to lose to the coin. Heading into the playoffs, I trail the coin by 1 point, 57-56.
Plenty of time left.
No, there's not plenty of time left.
So there's 6 games.
You'll
4
come
games,
up with something. The
6,
Super Bowl,
4.
we were at 37
There's
points or
13
something.
games. There's 13 games.
Yeah. Well, we have to. Now, how many games are there next week?
6, 4, 2, 1.
6-4. So what do we do next week?
4, and then we'll do.
Right, but what? How much? Well, we'll get to that next week.
Well,
I
so
think, I think they should all be worth 1 point for each.
Everything
Do all the games.
worth 1
Everything's
point?
1 point. Yeah.
All right.
Well, if they're all worth 1 point, then I mean, for all intents and purposes, you're pretty safe, Harry.
No, not necessarily. I
think the total points has to be 6 every week because that's what we've been doing all season.
Well,
So maybe we do
2 games, 2 1s,
Two
and
games.
2 and a 3.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe 2 1s and 2 and a 3 is a good way to do it, I think.
Well, this week we're going to do all of them are ones. That's what we decided.
This week's
Oh, no,
all-
that would be 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2. I'm sorry, 3
Next
No.
week it'll be 4 games, so it'll be
3 1s and a 3. 3 1s and a 3. Or 2 1s and 2 2s or something like that.
We'll figure that out.
Next week.
Anyway,
This
6
week
weeks,
is all
worth 1 point. I'm a point behind the coin, 57-56. Johnny's got 62, I think it is.
62, yeah.
And Harry, our current leader, with 68, so a 6-point lead.
I'll probably flounder here.
Well, listen, no, you should hang on because John won the first 2. I won last year. This is your year, so I am 12 points behind you. I'm 6 behind John, so I don't think I have a chance really at catching either one of you. But I'm battling with the coin to stay out of last. So, all right, so
Which is what I was doing last year.
Exactly.
After 2 years of winning.
So just picking the opposite of the coin. So.
Right.
All right. So let's start. We'll go with the games chronologically here. We have all 6 games, everything worth 1 point this week for the total of 6 points available to be had or lost or not had, I should say. So first up chronologically is Cleveland visiting the Houston Texans. I will let you know that the coin has chosen Houston and has bet 1 point on it. So, John, let's start with you. Who do you like in this one?
Texans.
Harry?
Look, last week was the first week that the Texans did not fuck me royally.
Get on with them.
So is this a trend, or do you think it's an enough?
Well, it doesn't matter. It half the time I picked them to win. The other times when I picked against them, they fucked me. Last week I picked them to win and they won. I'm taking the Browns.
Taking the Cleveland Browns. I've got to choose which games I want to go against the coin here. I think Cleveland has been a bugaboo for me this season. I think I've had
Defense
more.
is looking really good.
I know.
I just want the Flacco story to continue, but we'll see.
It's hard to know. The Texans are legitimately pretty good, but maybe not legitimately that good.
Good team.
I'm going to take the Browns. I'm going to take the Browns.
That's me and the coin, the Texans.
All right.
There we go. All right.
By the way, I would love to see the Super Bowl this year. No, I'll do it afterwards. Go ahead, continue.
All right.
Okay. Next up is Miami at KC. This game available on
Peacock.
the Peacock streaming service.
I'll have to get a 12-year-old to help me figure out how to watch it.
The Dwayne likes the Chiefs and is putting 1 point on it.
Mhm.
So, Harry, why don't you take this one first?
This is a tough one. I don't have a ton of confidence in the Chiefs, but I think it's going to be like 9 degrees in Kansas City. And I think that they'll fucking lather Kelsey up in barbecue sauce and get him the ball. I'm going to take the Chiefs at home.
Kansas City. All right. Kansas City's had the drops all season long, and we were kept waiting for it to get better. And it really hasn't. They still lead out of the league in drops, and they still have Mahomes, but obviously they're not as good as they were.
You're going to take him anyway.
Who's the coach for Miami? McDaniels?
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's a little weird, but I think he's a really good coach. But maybe that's
It's a
why.
little weird, but his ankles are going to definitely freeze.
No, but I mean, just
He is
his
a lot
demeanor-
weird, by the way.
His
He's a lot
demeanor
weird.
and the way he speaks and stuff like that. He's unconventional.
He's kind of a nerd, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We talked about Miami early in the season beating really good teams or beating lousy teams, but not really beating the really good teams. I think they've gotten better. I don't know if the cold is going to help Kansas City catch the ball, but I think experience and Andy Reid win out. So yeah, I'm going to take the Chiefs. John?
Chiefs.
Coin likes the Chiefs, so we're all in lockstep there. All right, next up is Pittsburgh at Buffalo. I'm going Buffalo at home.
Mhm.
Coin likes the Steelers for 1 point, by the way.
You're gonna. This is the one where hopefully you'll gain. The Bills have to win this.
They're on
Cool.
fire.
I'm going. Well, they're not on fire, but they at
Well,
least have. The gas
come
is
back-
at least on.
They've come
So,
back
yeah.
Compared to what they were doing at the
and
beginning of the
everybody-
season, they are.
Yeah, everybody wondering what was wrong with them to winning the AFC East. So.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to go with the Bills.
John?
Bills.
Bills. All right, so Coin's on an island with the Steelers here. All right, let's go back to John with Green Bay hosted by Dallas. Both enigmas in their own right, certainly. Oh, by the way, the Coin likes the Cowboys for 1 point.
Yes. This is hard.
I mean,
Because-
the Packers snuck past the Bears.
Yeah, no,
It's an ugly game.
look
They've been
on
up and
paper,
down all year.
on paper, the Cowboys are kicking the living shit out of the Packers.
Right.
But they don't play the game on paper, and the Cowboys choke in the playoffs. I don't think they're going to this week, though. The choke. I think they're winning. The Cowboys are winning. It's
Dallas Cowboys.
uh,
Harry?
I agree. I think it's one more week we get to watch the Cowboys until they implode. I think they win this week. Although if I was taking the spread, I'd take the Packers, but I think the Cowboys to win. Dallas favored by 7. 7.
Yeah, I don't think they'll cover. But yeah, I think the division series is where they implode this year. So we're all on board with the Cowboys, and we're all on board with the Chiefs. All right, next up is the Rams in Detroit. Harry, you get to pick this one first.
I think this is the toughest one to pick. I really do.
By the way, this is, I believe, the first time in NFL history that quarterbacks are playing against each other, their old teams, in the playoffs.
Here's I think the Rams are on the upswing. I think the Lions are good, but they're maybe like John said, they could easily come into this game 13-4 and not be playing the Rams. I'm going to go with the Lions only because I think they've got enough to squeak by here. But the fact that they're only a 3-point favorite at home tells you a lot. I would not be surprised if the Rams won. I want the Rams to win, but I'm trying to win here. And despite my guts telling me to take the Ram, I'm gonna go with my brain, and I'm gonna pick the Lions.
I think all those arguments are smart and sound. I tend to agree with them. The Coin has taken the Rams for 1 point, by the way. And I want to take Detroit because I'm only down 1 to the Coin. So if the Bills win and the Steelers lose, then that's one. And Rams are hot, man. The Rams are hot, and Detroit. Listen, we like what they've done. They've been inconsistent at times, as everybody has. I just wonder about the experience, playoff experience. Rams have got more than Detroit, but Detroit is at home.
Usually, when it's this close, I usually ask the question, who's got the better quarterback? And so I'm kind of going a little bit against my.
Yeah.
I think the Lions are deeper, and being at home and being their first playoff game at home in quite some time, I think this is going to be a big one for them to.
Yeah, is this going to be the good Lions or the Lions? I'm going to take the Rams. I'm going to take the Rams. Just because they've been on fire. Just because they've been on fire. John?
Harry's right in saying what team has a better quarterback.
Yeah, I agree with everything Harry said.
But it's not like Matthew Stafford is Tom Brady and Jared Goff is Joe Pisarcik.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're not.
They're a lot closer on the Kirk Cousins spectrum than.
Right. So and 100%, it's Detroit's first home playoff game in how long? And here's my other thing.
I think they're pissed from the Dallas game.
They're pissed from the Dallas, hugely pissed from the Dallas game.
Are they good enough to take that next step, right?
But here's the thing. Sean McVay has the experience. Dan Campbell, I think, is a much bigger motivator than Sean McVay.
But you look at what Campbell
and
did
it's gonna be a damn close game.
But still to go for the 2-point again, the Campbell.
Well, that was stupid. That was stupid.
That's another factor to consider too.
So kick the damn point, right? So, but yeah, I'm going with the Lions.
Going with the Lions. All right. So me and the coin looking to stay even in this game with the Rams.
I think that's the hardest game though, and I'm looking forward to that one. I'm glad I don't have to download an app to find that game.
Yeah. That'll be on your neighbor's TV in the backyard. They have
excellent
blow up screen.
Yeah,
so
right.
Love it.
If you got a second story window, you can just look down. All right. Next up, the last game, Philly hosted by Tampa Bay. Coin has the Bucks in 1 point. I tend to think I think the coin is right, actually. Philly started out 9-1. They ended up 11-6. And
which means they went 2-5.
Every loss that they had, we went, oh yeah, they didn't play a good game, but it's still Philly. And I'm not saying they're bad. They're still good, but maybe they're not a great team who stumbled 6 times. Maybe they're not quite as good as everybody was proclaiming them. Even at 9-1. However, it's fucking Tampa Bay, and the coin has the Bucks for 1 point. And I'm going to beat that joke into the ground if I haven't already. So I think I'm going to pick. I think the Bucks are going to win, but I'm going to pick the Eagles here for a chance to maybe stay tied or get tied or actually take the lead over the coin, at least for this week. So, yeah, I'll take Philly in Tampa. They're in Tampa. Can you imagine? After the first half of the season, you would have said, yeah, Philly's going to Tampa Bay to play their first-round playoff game.
In the wild card, man. Yeah.
Right, in the wild card game. All right, John, who do you like here?
You know what? I mean, Philly's done. I think they're fried. I really do. I think Sirianni's got 1 foot out the door. I think there's a lot more going on in Philly than we know of. Matt Patricia is the defensive coordinator. Okay. If he was still as good as he was supposed to be, he would have never left Detroit, or he would have still been in New England. with Belichick.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was right. He was asked to do something that he's not good at when he,
and that made
when
no
he
sense
left,
last
and
year.
now he's trying to get back to it.
Right.
But yeah, he might be shot.
And Bucks are home. It's going to be a close game, but I mean, the Giants just gave the Bucks a blueprint on how to win, and there's a lot of injuries too. Not everybody in the Eagles is 100%.
Yep.
So I'm going with Tampa Bay.
All right, John. I mean, Harry.
Look, this is just such a surreal game. I mean,
I know.
You look at Tampa towards the end of the year. Okay, they lost to the 49ers. Okay, they lost to the Colts. Then they beat the Panthers. Okay, twice. The last time they could only kick 3 field goals. They beat the Packers pretty convincingly. They beat the Jaguars, but they lost to the Saints. But are the Eagles really as bad as they've looked these last couple of weeks?
Well, listen, they've had a tough stretch, right? And they played San Francisco and Dallas, and everybody kept talking about, everybody could say, the next 4 or 5 games, tough stretch for them. But
Tampa's had a bunch of tough games too, and they didn't win all of them.
Right, Tampa's on the way up, Philly's on the way down.
But in a game with 2 teams that I think are relatively even, can Jalen Hurts and a team that went to the Super Bowl last year beat Baker Mayfield and the Bucks in Tampa?
The injuries is another factor for me, is why I picked Tampa too. By the way, so.
Yeah, and I'm not sure I really know enough about the injuries. Like, who is really out on the Eagles and who's in? We don't even know if Hurts is playing. Right? Am I wrong?
He broke his finger.
Yeah,
popped it out anyway, or whatever the hell he did.
Dislocated, right?
Dislocated. Yeah.
I can't believe I'm going to say this. Go with the fucking Bucks.
Going with the Bucks. Yeah, Hurts is playing unless his leg is broken.
And even then.
Yeah, listen, I agree with you guys, and I agree with the coin. I think Tampa's going to win this one, but I'm going to take them just to try
the Eagles.
Trying to get the point.
I think that the Eagles should just let Jason Kelsey snap it to himself and just get 3 yards.
Just do the tush push for 3 yards every play.
Yeah. All the way down the field.
All the way down the field.
All right.
Hagan keeps the ball out of Tampa. They'll have like 65 minutes of possession, But yeah, I just can't rationalize from what I've seen from this Eagles team. They just look like they're falling apart.
Yeah, they really do. They really do. All right.
It's like James Harden joined them or something.
Oh, come on now. Clippers are doing better. All right, so you guys are lockstep except for Cleveland and Houston.
Yeah.
And I got 1, 2, 3 differences with the coin, and that's sort of the breakdown right now. Me and the coin for last or not last, and you guys for first.
There you go.
So, John, you might have to start making some oppo picks.
There you go.
I don't think you have enough time to get back in it with one point at a time. Well, but
that's true.
Some of the games next week will be worth more than one.
Well, they'll be worth more, yeah. And then the 2 championship weekend there'll be 2 3-point games. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. All right, so there we go.
And then the Super Bowl will be 6 points.
By the way, I do also want to remind everybody who's listening out there, if there is anybody, that I am leading this miraculously. I also am usually the person who picks first because I'm waiting for everybody else to pick and nobody does it. So
yeah,
I throw my picks out there first.
Mm. We got a comment from YouTube. Genwill Belandris, new Cowboys way of losing, goes for it at 4th and 1, touchdown from a fumble. That's
that would be a new one. That would be a new one.
That would definitely be a new one.
And listen, I'll say, Harry, I think you're supposed to go first. Not every game as the leader.
Oh, okay.
Because in other words, then the guys behind you can decide. Like if you're making good picks, then they have to decide. But which of these games am I going to go opposite?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's
so. But that's why I did it this way. Since we had 6 games, we could each
alternate.
Except for the coin, we could each pick one first. John picked 2 first. I picked two first. You picked two first.
And I'm not smart enough to really have strategery, so I just pick who I think's good.
Well, yeah, that's I've noticed that about you. You usually make it. That's what you're doing. You're doing good picks, and you were doing a really good job assigning points too. So
there you go.
Except those damn Texans.
I mean, you're probably. I was looking at the championship.
But I thought I was like, all right, I'm going to give them my pick for the Texans so they could pick opposite of me and give it the opposite amount of points.
Well, at least John picked before the game started this week, so that's right. We're making progress on that.
Happened once.
Johnny usually.
And I texted it, never went, never sent.
He picked the Green Bay game after it was over.
Yeah, we get a text from John with about 8.5 minutes left in the first quarter of game one. Here's my picks, guys.
but I still picked the team that wound up losing the game. So what the hell is that?
Well, yeah,
that's it. You got to wait till the third quarter next time.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Do we want to do? What do we want to do next?
I got an NFL. I got a question of the week for you.
Oh, question of the week. All right, cool.
Question of the
week for you. Okay. And it's specific to this week, so let's do that. In fact, let me put the whatchamacallit up here. NFL
graphic. We got to get the graphic.
Got to get the crawl up.
Up there.
Got to get the crawl up here. Oh, never mind. I'll actually have to do this because everything the last show was holiday. There we go. All right, here we go.
The holiday crawl.
Holiday crawl, yeah. NFL playoffs question of the week. Here we go. Pete, we'll start with you. Same question, but we'll start with you. Do you like a bye for a top team in the playoffs or no?
No. Every team should have to play the same number of games.
Fair enough.
Your reward for being good is you get to play at home.
Okay, fair enough. And well, on that note, is it an unfair advantage or is it a disadvantage?
I think
to play at home.
To have a bye.
To have a bye.
Oh, in football, I think it's an advantage.
All right. Harry?
I don't know if I agree with that anymore. I think it used to be. I'm not so sure that. Here's why: is that it seemed this like some teams didn't play anybody this past week, so then they don't play. Then they don't play this week. So now it's like 2+ weeks since they played.
Yeah, right. If you've locked something up and you're not putting your starters out there for more than the first series or something like that.
Right.
Yes, but that's a choice that those teams make.
Yeah.
Understood. But
yes, I agree. Then you can have a couple of weeks to sort of get rusty. But I mean, you still have to put 22 guys out there. It's just not
true.
Your big money guys all the time. But yeah, in that case, I agree with you. Then you can get some rust on you.
There you go. All right. That's the NFL playoffs question of the week. There we go. I got to get nostalgia for those this year. So anyway, all right. We you got the Are They For Real?
Yeah, we do a little Are They For Real?
We should.
It's a quick one, and it's
it's going to give our NBA.
Get us into our NBA segment.
Get us our NBA segment a little bit there.
Might in fact be basically the entire NBA segment.
Exactly.
Oh no, we do have a few things to talk about.
There we go.
What is real?
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
Pretty sure none of that's real.
You're not real.
For real, for real, for real. Yeah.
Are you for real? For real? For real? For real?
Are they for real?
What is real?
All right. Are they for real? NBA edition. So let's start off here in the Eastern Conference, where the Boston Celtics are the best team, maybe the best team in the NBA. Well, we don't want to argue about that. Followed by the Bucks and the Sixers in the statistically speaking. But then we've got 4, 5, and 6. The Indiana Pacers, who, despite not understanding, I think, what the word defense means, are 22-15, game and a half back of the third place 76ers. You've got the New York Knicks, who are also 22-15 and also 7 games back of the leading Boston Celtics. Mm-hmm. And you've got the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are also 22-15 and 3 games back of the second place Milwaukee Bucks. So my question is, amongst those 3 teams, Pacers, Knicks, Cavs, who's the most for real? who's going to stay in the top 6, or at least be in the top 6 when the season is done. You can rank them 1, 2, 3, or if you think it's only one or two of them, you can pick which teams you think are going to be in the top 6. Pacers, Knicks, Cavaliers at the end of the regular NBA season.
Of those three?
Of those 3.
Which one is the most likely to be in the top 6?
Yeah, or like I said, if you think there are 2 of them are going to be there, you can rank them 1 and 2 or whatever. You can pick one or...
Honestly, the way the Knicks are playing right now, I think they're going to be in the top 6.
Like the Knicks in the top 6.
Yeah. Over. I'm a little bit more confident, and not just because I'm a fan. A little bit more confident in the Knicks being in the top 6 than the Pacers or the Cavs. But you know what? I mean, the Heat and the Magic are right on their tails. But
yeah, but we're not talking about them.
I'm not talking about them. But we to talk about the Cavs or the Pacers not being in the top 6, we kind of have to talk about the Heat or the Magic being.
No,
in
we
the
don't.
top 6. So,
although,
or at least think
about
think about them. I would say of the other two, I would say probably. We go with the Pacers.
So their offense can overcome their lack of defense.
Right.
Right.
And that's pretty much the whole league is anyway right now. Anyway,
yeah. I tend to agree with you. I think you're right about the Knicks, and probably at least one of those other 2 teams.
Of the other 2, I would say the Pacers have the better shot of being in the top 6 than the Cavs, because the Heat are going to be relevant. The Heat are going to be there. Spoelstra's going to have them playing down the stretch well. So
gotcha. All right, Harold.
This is an interesting one. I think the moves the Knicks made were fantastic. Oh God, thank God. I wanted OG out here in Denver, but besides that, I think the Knicks and Cleveland are 2 really good defensive teams. They're both giving up about the same amount of points per game, way less than Indiana. Obviously, Indiana can light it up. I think Halliburton's injury is going to, who knows how long that's going to linger for. So I'm going to say that I think if Halliburton gets healthy, I think the Pacers can overcome their deficiencies on defense. I think the Knicks move slightly ahead of Cleveland, but Cleveland's a pretty good team, and I think they're going to have a better second half of the season than first half.
So most likely, would you say, is the Knicks?
Right now, yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we all agree on that.
I think there's going to be I think the Knicks are set up to have some consistency. I think they're set up to be able to overcome the challenges that present themselves during a season. I think that there's, on any given night, there's 1, 2, 3 people who can step up and lead the team in scoring, and they're not so dependent on Brunson or Randall having such a great game because their defense has been looking so good.
Right.
So they don't have to pump in as many points as they did. And I think by the end of the season, the Knicks could shave a point or 2 off of what they're giving up per game.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. We're in basic agreement there. Let's head out to the Western Conference, where you've got the Timberwolves and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Harry, I know you're excited about Oklahoma City because of
SGA, baby.
What is it, SGA?
SGA.
SGA.
Yeah. Who we've been chirping about, rightfully so, for about almost a
years
year and a half now. More than it, yeah. And the Timberwolves and all that, Nuggets right in there, just a game back, the lead and all that. But again, let's talk about 4, 5, and 6. Clippers, Harden started off rough, coming together a little bit. 24-13. The Sacramento Kings, game back of them, 23-14, and the Pelicans with a so far consistently healthy Zion Williamson, 3.5 back of the league leading, Western Conference leading, I should say, Minnesota Timberwolves. So same question: Clippers, Kings, Pelicans. When the season ends regularly, who's the most likely to be there, or do you want to rank them if you think it's going to be more than one?
I'm going to rank them right as they sit right now. I mean, I know they're basically there's a game and a half that separates them, but I'm going to go Clippers, Kings, Pelicans. Clippers are kind of handling themselves pretty well this year, and they've won some tough games. I think I would not want to be playing the Clippers in the first round of the playoffs.
I agree. I was going to say the same thing. Rank them as they sit right now. The only thing I might squeeze the Pelicans just ahead of the Kings, but definitely Clippers are the top of those three.
Yeah, the Kings can sometimes not be as good defensively as they need to.
Right.
Especially.
I agree. I think the Clippers are there again. We look about injuries. An injury to Williamson and the Pelicans are really going to struggle. But you don't even know. The thing about the Clippers is, though, you've got Paul George, who has a history of getting hurt or just outright sucking in the playoffs. And, of course, Harden has had some great games, but not nearly as many bad games when it comes down to but that's the playoffs. We're talking about the regular season. So, yeah, I think the Pelicans are a better team. But I think I would say maybe Clippers, Pelicans, and I don't know if the Kings will even be there when it's all said and done. But if I had to rank all three, I would say Clippers, Pelicans, Kings.
Yeah, the reason why I put the Sacramento ahead is that I think they've got two guys who can score in multiple ways in clutch time, in Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah,
I don't have as much faith in the clutch scoring of New Orleans. So, we'll see. I think Sacramento might make some noise in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to play any of those teams in the playoffs.
The West is stacked. There's a lot of,
but there's some change, right? We don't have the Phoenix Suns at the top anymore.
Not yet.
We don't have the Utah Jazz. I mean, the Jazz is a game under 500 right now. The Warriors are,
the Jazz are hot right now, and they beat the Nuggets, in Denver. So it's I think Utah,
right now, now it's kind of flip flop. All right, a couple other just quick questions for you here. Are the Lakers going to be over 500 at the end of the regular season?
Yes,
they will. Okay, they will get better.
I agree.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, and just a reminder, we maybe the last show we did, or last live show we did, or whatever, we had the Spurs and the Detroit Pistons both racing towards losing. We said who's going to win first. It turned out it was the Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
By a long shot.
Yeah, but although that wasn't their first win, but Detroit's got 3 wins now, which I think is, in that span of time since then, is more impressive than
San Antonio's. I
mean, San Antonio has 6 wins, but they already had a couple before they went on that.
But Detroit wasn't, when we were talking about that, was Detroit actually winless?
Detroit was winless. Yeah,
they had 0 wins. Yeah.
So they were at like 18 or 19 or whatever it was.
They're 3-35.
Yeah, 3-35. But again, in that span of time, they've won 3, and I think the Spurs have won 1 or 2 since then. So
yeah, they're 1-9 in their last 10. And
yeah, although they've the Spurs did win, they did break their losing streak first, but overall a little more impressive, I think, for Detroit. Anyway, that's it for Are They For Real in the NBA?
Are they for real?
Are they for real? Are they for real?
They are, and they're spectacular.
There you go. Excuse me. All right, I got a quick.
Always quick. It's always quick.
Always quick. Got a quick 4 got to stay for you.
4 got to stay.
4 got to stay.
This got to go.
I got a quick 4 got to stay for you. What we call it, and it's just a cute one. It's not sports related at all. Just inquiring minds want to know. That's what
we're gonna pick our top 3.
Well, we did last time. We did breakfast cereals. You remember we did breakfast cereals last time.
I think we should rank the ladies of Charmed.
Ladies of Charmed.
Yeah,
hilarious.
Yes.
I was flipping through the channels here in the hotel room last night, and came across a rerun of Charmed.
Oh yeah.
And wasn't one of the main actresses, but some, supporting cast. Just two of them, just the worst acting, just horrible, just terrible.
So here's why I know about Charmed is because I many times I fall asleep watching TNT, which is listening to Charles and Shaq blabber about something,
Right.
And then I wake up and Charmed is on,
right,
and I don't turn it off.
No, it's
the sound is off, but
there's nothing worth listening to in this show.
Yeah.
It's all
but it's quite a wonderful show.
Usually there's at least
With the sound off.
one or two, sometimes 3 or 4 good reasons to watch that show.
I like Hot Witches. What can I say?
But my son and I, and he doesn't watch TV. Both my kids, they never watch.
Yeah, he'll watch Charmed.
But we were no, he won't. But we were both watching it, and we were both sitting there like jaw open, going, "What horrible acting this is! Why would they even?" You would think someone. This was like a CW show or a WB or whatever, right? But you would think at some point someone would go, "Cut! You're fired.
Get out of here! Right.
Get out! You're supposed to be burning alive, and you're going, oh, I mean, it was
horrible.
Like even he noticed it, and he doesn't even watch TV. So
Rose McGowan is underrated. Charmed.
Oh, very much so. Did you see the Grindhouse, the first Grindhouse movie?
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. She's
Did she lose a leg in that? She was still hot, right?
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. 4 got to stay. Write these down. This week's 4 got to stay is top alcohol beverages.
I thought you were going to say top alcoholics of all time.
Top alcoholics of all time.
Here we go. It comes down to this: Babe Ruth versus Charles Bukowski.
Bukowski. Yeah. Anyway, okay, here we go. Write these down. Ready? Write these down.
All right.
Remember, 4 got to stay. Give me a 6. Keep 4. 2 got to go. 4 got to stay. Write these down. Beer.
Okay.
Nothing specific. It's all generic.
Just beer.
Wine.
Okay.
Bourbon.
The brownest of the brown liquors.
There you go.
Wash it down with the brown.
Scotch.
Ooh, God, this reminds me of my childhood.
Gin. And vodka.
Of course, the holy duplex of clear alcohol.
There you go. So beer, wine, bourbon, scotch, gin, vodka. That's a decent cross section. No specific drinks, no specific cocktails, no specific wines, no specific beers. Just beer, wine, bourbon, scotch, gin, vodka. Let's start with Harry on this one.
Look, this is easy for me because the Browns and I don't get along. So I'm going to go beer, wine, gin, and vodka. And it's not even a question.
The Browns and you don't get along? Then why did you pick them?
Well, yeah.
Why didn't you pick them?
I just don't love bourbons and whiskeys and scotch. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Smell like scotch a lot, but that's another time.
Fair enough. Pete?
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I've just never. I think there are really amazing drinks that you can make with whiskey, but I just have never really been able to truly enjoy scotch or bourbon. As a drink. Now, would I drink straight gin or vodka? No, I wouldn't. But if if that was the way it was available, right? If it was just you're getting a liquor, you can have it on the rocks. Maybe you can have a twist or a wedge of something in it. I don't think I could enjoy scotch or bourbon. I just wouldn't. I would fake my way through it. But give me 2 fingers, and I'm good for the next 2 hours. Of those.
Right.
There we go. But again, you could give me, I probably prefer gin over vodka, but you give me either one of those on the rocks and I could drink it down a little bit better. And beer's just beer. It's fun. It's like when you drink it when you're thirsty, even though it doesn't, and wine is great. To me, wine is the best because it gives me the most bang for my buck.
Gotcha. If you're playing along, I'm shocker beer, right? I'm agreeing with you guys on beer. I'll agree with you guys on wine. I certainly will agree with you guys on gin. I'm a huge.
I wouldn't think you're much of a wine guy.
Of these, I'm not a huge wine guy, but I will drink wine. I'll drink Pinot Noir is my favorite red.
No specifics.
No specifics, but I will. Yeah, beer, wine, gin. I'm a big gin guy, but I'm taking vodka off and I'm putting on the bourbon.
Bourbon. All right.
Yeah.
I thought you liked the vodka though when you Brockmeyed yourself.
When I Brockmeyed myself, that was a different story because of that.
Yeah, the bourbon.
Scotch there too. But
you don't want a bourbon Brockmeyer. That burns.
You don't want that burns. Big time. But yeah, I like bourbon, specifically rye. Even a little bit more than bourbon. I like. But anyway, so
really,
there you go.
Now, how would you drink that?
I drink it. I drink it on rocks. I'll drink it on rocks. I'll drink bourbon or rye on the rocks. But
with the shirt off at a funnel.
Most of the time, I'll make an old fashioned, and I'll make different old fashions too. I just actually bought a bottle of my favorite old fashioned is a maple old fashioned. I actually just bought a bottle of smoked maple syrup, smoked Vermont maple syrup. So I'll take two parts bourbon.
So bougie.
Yeah, and I put smoked maple syrup instead of the simple syrup, and then I'll put use black walnut bitters. That's fantastic old fashioned.
That sounds good. Yeah, so I would try one of those.
Yeah. So anyway, there you go. All right.
You did not have tequila on that list, which is
I did not have tequila on the list. I didn't put rye, I didn't put Irish whiskey, I didn't put tequila or any of that. I went with beer, wine, bourbon, scotch, gin, vodka. I figured that was easy peasy. So
there you go.
There you have it. All right. We have an over under.
We do. I want to ask you guys maybe two quick questions.
Go for it.
First, I know we talked about the national championship and all that. Like I said, I didn't watch it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about the FSU players just like opting out of the game? Because I know everybody posted when they were getting trounced. Oh yeah, they didn't belong there. This proves it. Which, whatever. But if you were an FSU player, and obviously you're feeling slighted and all that, and a bunch of guys are going in the portal. Maybe some guys think they're going pro. They don't want to. So they just wholesale kind of said, nah, why don't you take like 30 of us, so we're not going to play.
Mm-hmm.
You agree? Would you have done that? Or would you, well, no, we're going to play no matter what?
No, you play. You play. You play it's a bowl game. You play. It's not a championship game. It's not a level or playoff or anything like that. But it's for your school. You participated.
Yeah. Look, it's you play. You guys, you weren't one of the top 4 teams. I'm sorry. But yeah.
It's like here's the thing. If they were all gonna fail, if they were in the playoffs,
no, they weren't. That's the point. They're
right. That's my point. But if that was like already pre-decided, hey, we're not playing even if we make it to the top 4. I don't agree with it, but that's one thing. This was sour grapes. They were like, screw you.
Yeah.
No, bullshit. You play.
All right. I come down on the other side of the fence.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I think they want to send a message, and they did. Not that it really makes any difference.
Who were they sending the message to?
They sent a message to college football.
And do you think they gave a shit?
No,
that's what I'm saying. It's not going to make any difference because they're changing everything, and now we're going to have a whole new, 12 teams and all that stuff. But
let's see if they can make it in next year.
Well, look, now they want to get out of the ACC because no one from the ACC, Well, now you're going to have 12 teams. Maybe one team is going to go, but so the weakest of the Power 4, it's no longer Power 5. But anyway, yeah, okay. I just want to see I figured you guys would be, at least one of you would come down on that side. I'm like, good for them. They got fucked. They think something really wrong happened, and so they protested. I think it's a good move.
I mean, I almost understand it, but I still don't agree with it.
Yeah. So, and of course, might have been made a little bit easier because they were playing Georgia.
Well,
Yeah, they got.
Who, despite their loss, a lot of people still thought they were the best team in the country.
And they would have gotten destroyed anyway.
They would have gotten beaten. I agree.
And they did.
I don't think it would have been 63-3, but
yeah, it was. I think it's gonna be that bad.
It wouldn't have been that ugly, but it still could have been ugly. But I
think it's an excuse. I think they knew that their perfect season was going to come to an end, and they wanted an excuse for it. I think it's chicken shit.
Hmm. There you go.
All right, there we go. What else did I want to ask about? I think no, I think that was it.
Okay. Well, there you have it.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, yeah, no, that was it.
Was it?
Yep, that was it.
All right.
All right, so yeah, over under.
Pete's box over under. Go for it.
All right. So I had the other day, well, we've been going through our basement and there's all sorts of stuff down there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some
I follow you on OnlyFans. I know it's not.
yeah. If you're in the subsection basement section of the OnlyFans,
I'm on the premium tier, which gets me.
All right, thank you. You are one of the few dedicated.
Yeah, Wednesdays in the crawl space are my favorite.
Okay, well, yeah, we had to modify the whole house. Just
the lighting looks a lot better. Yeah,
does.
Yes, the new neon is good.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, we've been cleaning stuff out of there. You know, when my sister first moved back from California, she lived with us for a while. Her and my nephew, and so there was like stuff still down in the basement of hers for like 25 years almost. It's been sitting down there. So we've been cleaning it out. So I came across an e-card, which is like just a sports card of Chad Pennington. And I was going to do
Darnold Bradford.
Yeah. So then I was going to have you do over under for some stats categories, but I forgot to bring it with me. So instead, we're going to go.
We'll use that next time.
Yeah, we do that next time. But there's probably 5 or 6 different categories you can go under over on, and we'll tally up. So, my wife is a big fan of snacks, as I am. But
Snacks Harrison, or
she's like,
where is he now?
He was on I think he retired.
Played in the U.S. XFL, right?
U.S. XFL?
I think so.
U.S. XFL.
That's what you said. U.S. XFL.
U.S. XFL. Yeah. They combine the leagues, right?
Right. Whatever it takes.
I think that's what it's called.
He'd be the last person I thought would be joining the XFL. But yeah.
Well, man's got to do what a man's got to do.
Ride him, cowboy.
His OnlyFans is not taking off the way he hoped.
That really was what he hoped. Yeah.
That's my favorite sport, the XFL.
The
U.S. XFL. So,
I like the European XFL. But yeah.
It's a little different over there.
Yeah.
So look, when you the things that can't qualify as sex in Europe.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah. They wear turtlenecks in the winter.
So when when you have kids, you always have to snacks around because they get cranky or you just want them to shut up or whatever. And so, but it translates. The boys are 22 and 19 tomorrow and still snacks. So we packed the snack bag with all sorts of stuff. So one of the things that she bought, she was making an Oreo pie for Christmas.
Sure.
So, you grind up the Oreos and it's like a pudding kind of thing. So she bought this box of Oreos and it has like sleeves of Oreos in it. And they look like this.
Oh, nice.
So there's like 20 of them or something in the box. Which is a dangerous thing to have in my house.
Yeah.
So I had packed, like I'd made a bunch of sandwiches. I made 3 or 4 sandwiches, and I put some caffeine-free Diet Cokes in the snack bag, and a can of Pringles. We could eat a sandwich, have some chips on the ride, and all that.
Health food.
Health. Well, it's a 13
snacking.
We figured it was a 13 to 15 hour ride, so we didn't want to have to stop and eat,
And the egg salad sandwiches don't
They don't
travel as well.
No, they were.
No travel.
Yeah, but you're right. But
they're not a good road team.
No, but my wife is like a real foodie. Like I make the sandwiches. I made them the night before, and then right before we left, I put the condiments on.
Nice.
My wife will wait. She will go somewhere and get packets of. She'll go like down to Panera and get some mayonnaise packets and some mustard packets or whatever.
That works.
And I'll be driving and she'll be fixing the sandwiches, so they'll be
condimenting.
Yeah, she's very, anyway.
Condimenting.
So she had slipped a sleeve of Oreos in there.
Yeah,
so they're all the same. Slipped a sleeve of Oreos in. And you guys are going to guess how many are in here. So I'm going to give you a couple looks at it. One more.
Mm-hmm.
They are single stuffed.
That's your Thursday night.
Yeah. On the weekends, maybe not so much.
Well, if they were Sunday between 1 and 3 a.m., it would be double stuffed time. But
wow.
So nice.
So and it's sealed on both ends.
Really?
One sleeve. And again, these come in this box. They come sitting. So how many are in here? The over under is 12.5.
12.5. I'm going over.
John's going over.
I was going to go over too, but just to make it interesting, I'll go under.
All right. Well, that's kind of the way it works. That's why I was wanting to do the Chad Pennington thing, because we got a bunch of categories.
Well, how about this? I'm going to go over as well. John, you tell me your number.
Okay. It's all right. That's good.
So who's closer?
14.
15.
Ooh. Johnny wins. Believe it or not, it's 13.
Wow, that's an odd thing.
I counted it like 8 times to make sure it was 13.
Wow.
13 Oreos in a sleeve.
I would think 14 or 15 would be the number for 13.
I would have figured a dozen. And now I'm thinking about, when you buy the regular package that you peel back, how many are in each one of those rows?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if there's 4 of them, then it comes out to an even number. 13. I would guess 15 over 13, but that 13 makes sense. Baker's dozen.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
But odd. So anyway, if you see the big box of Oreo sleeves, 13 per sleeve.
13
per sleeve.
Which?
There it is.
There you go.
Which I have.
So if you're going to share this with a friend, you got to fight over the last one.
You got to fight over the last one.
Or break it in half like a wishbone.
Oh, you can break it in half. Yeah.
See who gets the cream, which is the big side of the wishbone. So
see who gets the cream. That's your Saturday night.
Well, there's not enough days in the week.
There's not enough days in the week for everything you're doing. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I got to add
double stuff Sunday.
I got to add who gets the cream.
Who gets the cream Saturday.
I got cream lug. Now I got to work into it somehow.
Who gets the cream?
I got to hire an Amish actor and
who gets the
do
cream?
Something with the cream lug.
An Amish actor.
Well, because it was an Amish style bakery that we
and the cream log. Yeah,
Amish and cracker are kind of
She said we're known for our cream log, and
and you said so am I.
That's going to be the name of the skit. Yeah.
You should come over a double stuff Sunday.
The double bill at the community theater, Streetcar Named Desire, and we're known for our cream log. Double bill on Saturday afternoon.
Double bill on Saturday afternoon. Exactly.
I just want to say one thing real quick. 13 is a good number because 13 is the number of wins that the Colorado women's basketball team has this year. They are 13-1.
There you go.
They are number 5 in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
So congratulations to the Colorado Buffaloes and their head coach, J.R. Payne. She has them playing, maybe the best basketball we've seen at CU in a very, very long time. Now, I am just waiting for Stephen A. Smith and The Rock and the guy with no sleeves on his shirt who stands during a show on ESPN, the punter who, whatever his name is. I'm waiting for them all to show up and come to Boulder and put on their sunglasses and interview her, because this is what it's like when you win at the University of Colorado.
Right.
Well, anyway, good for her and good for the team.
I hear what you're screaming from the bleachers. There you go. Cool. All right. Anything else?
One hockey note.
One hockey note.
Thanks to I forget his name on the Devils. Brendan Smith. Broken jaw, needed surgery, out for 6 to 8 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to hurt the Blackhawks. Not that they're doing very well, but 15 goals, 18 assists, 33 points in 39 games. Not bad. Not the best of the Connors, though.
No.
Connor McDaniel, 15 goals but 40 assists
Mhm.
and 55 points in 35 games this season. And I believe the Oilers are in slightly a little higher up in the standings than the Blackhawks are. But too bad. Bedard has been everything, really, he's been billed so far. So
He absolutely has. And then
they will miss him, and the fans will. Although he's getting, look, the backlash is starting now because he's enthusiastic. He's a little bit brash. The guy's a fucking great player, and I've seen a couple of interviews. I haven't found him to be super arrogant, but he acknowledges that he's a really, really good player, and sometimes fans don't like that. So now the anti Connor Bedard backlash is starting.
Well, he just needs to come over to the NFL where they seem to love it.
Yeah, exactly.
The NBA or
But for those of you who like,
start posting some pictures of you with a gun on Instagram.
Exactly. So I get caught at the airport with an unloaded pistol and get some credibility that way. But so he'll be out for 6 to 8 weeks.
There you go. And it'd be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that the Canucks came into the New York area and beat up on all three teams.
Yeah.
Scored 17 goals between all three teams.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a very, very good season for anyone, any of the New York hockey teams.
Rangers are looking great. Rangers are in first place. They got 54 points.
Mm-hmm.
The Islanders got 48. Devils 45.
Mm-hmm.
Devils on a little bit of a slump, but
how about that? I didn't realize the Rangers were that good.
Oh yeah,
Rangers are looking good, and look, Avalanche are back on top in the West. Winnipeg, that might be the surprise, right?
A little bit.
Winnipeg, 27-9.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're the only team without double-digit losses in all of hockey. Oh no, I'm sorry, Boston's 24-8.
Boston's got 8 losses.
Yeah, Boston. We'll see. Obviously the Patriots aren't going to win anything, but we'll see if Boston, the Celtics, and the Bruins can get a twofer in championships in 2024.
Yeah, Winnipeg's plus 43.
Mm-hmm. The Canucks have 59 points. The Jets have 58 points, so they're second place in points in the entire league. So,
it's and all of a sudden the Nashville Predators, who I didn't even realize were a team, are looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Well,
this is true. Yeah, and they went to the Cup not too long ago. In fact, the coach of the Rangers was their coach when they went. So, and there you have it.
Dusty Baker.
Dusty Baker, exactly. So anyway, all right, we good?
I'm good.
Good show. Good first show of the year. I like that. All right. On that note, we will wrap the show for today. We want to thank everybody for watching, and for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thank you for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.getonwithitpodcast.com. That's getonwithitpodcast.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search for the Get On With It podcast. And of course, all of our shows are available on YouTube as well on the Logger Room channel. Remember, we go live with a video podcast on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, which is now X. Might as well just start saying X. Everybody knows it's X now. And Twitch every Wednesday night around 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. And for those of you just usually Wednesday nights, this week was a special occasion to do it on a Thursday. And for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on our audio host, Spreaker, as well as iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Odyssey, Audible, Google Podcast, Amazon Music Podcast, TuneIn, Podcast Addict, CastBox, Deezer, Podcast Chaser, or Podchaser, Rephonic. Pretty much anywhere you can find audio podcasts, you'll find the Get On With It Sports Podcast. And if you don't, Peacock, right? It's on. We're streaming. We're streaming concurrently with the game on Saturday night.
Is it Peacock or Peacock Plus?
It's Peacock. Just Peacock. I'm sure eventually there'll be a Peacock Plus, but right now
I would hope so.
Yeah. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds, and you'll never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. Watch all of the super wild card football games, NFL football games this weekend, and we will talk to you next week, folks. Actually, 2 weeks. Talk to you soon. Take care, folks. Cheers.
Bye, everybody.